champions. Well, let's just get into this. The regular season empire, rather, because regular season games don't matter. It's the big one. And so I put this here with these three quarterbacks. Now, unfortunately, we never got a chance at Trey Lance. We would have probably broke the streak if that first game, if you remember, it was pretty close. Pretty close. That's funny.
I like that. I like the wordplay.
It was fairly close during that game. But Jimmy Garoppolo came out of the hat, and he does his regular season magic against the Rams. And I wish we would have had Brock Purdy in that game. Maybe we could have broke the streak then, but we never got a chance to play him. I know you were high on him. Maybe he was going to do the job. And then now we finally get at least Brock Purdy. So I put all these three quarterbacks because they're going to find out that there's only one real quarterback in the NFC, and that's the man right over my shoulder.
With the beer and the trophy, the Lombardi.
It used to be that Niner fans said hard work tells the story, not regular season banners and fan attendance banners. So that's where I'm at. That's why I say I'm different from other fans, because I just tell you the truth. And if you don't like it, it's still facts.
I tell you what, Rudy, listen, welcome to the show, man. I truly appreciate you for being able to join me. Look, I'm encouraging you to stream this on your channel.
You know what? I came at the stroke of midnight or right now.
You can still add it though. At the top.
Okay. No, that's okay. I appreciate it. Next time.
Okay. No problem.
When I was getting set up, Breezie, they were delivering a package and my dogs were barking up a storm. Not now. So I was like, I had to calm them. I had to go get the package and then calm them down because it came right on my porch.
Okay.
And
No problem.
But
well,
anyway,
listen, I'm going to talk. I'm going to do some preliminaries, right? And so if you want, you got the very top of the screen, it'll say stream the audience. Why don't you go ahead and get that set up? Because I'm encouraging the Ram fans to join this platform because and I know you have zero problems holding it down. You're like the 57th Ronin. Like, I get it. You can take on everybody, but it would be really cool if you get some of your comrades in here so we can have a great show in the chat. Like, you know what I mean? It'll go back and forth. All right. So guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. You already know this is a special edition of the Wayne Breezie Show. I will be looking to do these weekly if I can find content creators from different teams that want to stream live, go back and forth. And we're going to go back and forth and go through some matchup battles and things like that. We're going to go over the injury reports for both teams. And then our guest is going to have to come up with a plan and, give us a few ways how he feels his team can defeat the juggernaut of the NFC, and listen, he already gave his history. He gave his story. And I love it. And that's the one thing I love about you, bro. You hold it down. You support. You're a great dude. You're a great, great dude. And I appreciate you. Coach Cruz is in the building. Shout out to the Breezie's bunch. Listen, Coach Cruz is in the building. Jax Knox is in the building. Eddie G and the Bulldogs in the building. I love it. I love it. Peachy's in the building. Welcome to the show. Be sure to smash that like button on the way in. Join the BB crew. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and let a friend know about this great 49er content. I see Red Jet Shell, Alberto, Coach T Bates, Schmidt Juice. There are a lot of people in the crew. Listen, become a member of the Breezie's bunch crew, all right? I truly would appreciate that. It would be so dope. All right, listen, if you're not subscribed to the channel, all you got to do is click on this link right there below. It's in the ticker. It's at The Wayne Breezie, youtube.com at The Wayne Breezie. The description is also, the link is also in the description of the show. Be sure to check it out, all right? And shout out to everybody on Instagram for helping us reach 11K. We've reached the 11K mark on Instagram, bro. Woo! It was tough, though, because the channel, the page on Instagram went through some stuff. It's gotten hacked a couple of times, got it back, kept it going. It got kind of ghosted. I don't know if you've ever been ghosted by Instagram, but it's not a good feeling. They stopped pushing stuff, and then finally the ghosting period ended, and Instagram is back in front. So we've reached 11K, and I think it's going strong, and I appreciate you guys over there showing that love and that support. All right, man, let's get down to the show. We're not going to be here long. I say 45 minutes tops, hour tops. Let's talk about it, man. We're coming to a place where we typically own the rights to SoFi Stadium. Matter of fact, the San Francisco 49ers, the fan base, the talking heads, the analysts, they call it Levi South. And it's because Kyle Shanahan since 2019 is 8-0 there, minus the one game that you said counted, and we'll with the big one, the one that counted. And that game should have been a win. So like at the end of the day, it wasn't, but it should have been, and you know it. You know that there's this particular San Francisco 49er that dropped a gimme from your boy Matthew Stafford, which I know you were scratching your head and smacking yourself saying, why would you throw that?
We'll talk about that because Ramsey lost too. So we'll give you that one. Give us the two Ramsey ones and it would have been a blowout.
It's different though. The Ramsey ones are different. The Ramseys weren't give me's. Like he had to literally.
It was a gimme. There was one right at the 15-yard line.
But he was still
right there.
It was a wrap. My definition of a gimme is when you don't have to work for it to get it. And I felt like Ramsey was working to get them joints. Yeah. Like he still was moving one way, momentum. You know how it be. Plus he's a DB. Yeah.
But I mean,
but the gimme is the Breezie, one that's right there in front of you, and there's nobody around you.
He had him. He had that. The last one was about the 15-yard line. He's running to his left, and the ball comes like this, and he dropped it, and then he goes like that. We would have had the ball right there.
I got you, bro. So we can null and void the gimmies. That was a weird game. Niners. I saw you post a comment on Twitter about injuries and how 49er fans, you know, because you guys were 5-12, and we listen. You can't talk to us about injuries, bro. You can't cry to the faithful about injuries. Well, we are the most injury-plagued team in the league.
Part of that is your coach's fault.
Could be
putting never getting that. Like I said, remember, it's funny because I kind of put a hex on us, I think, by saying, Wayne, just keep that offensive line the way it is the year before last year. And then we got the injuries. We had a record number of people need to, don't listen to the Mark Florios,
we agree.
The
high five.
The idiots, because the guy, I don't know if he's jealous of McVay being a good-looking dude with a trophy and a trophy wife, beautiful wife. I say that respectfully because I love her; she's wonderful. But he's so he says something about you guys, but he's so on us. We won the trophy. Then he'll say but no, there's no buts. Ask Dallas, ask the Niners, ask the teams that would love to have won that Super Bowl in modern times, as I say. They would give their left nut for that. And so that's why I'm like, they're driving us nuts. We didn't even get to run it back. We didn't have Von Miller. OBJ was hurt, didn't even play the whole year. That's not the real Rams team. But then we got hurt again. And then Allen Robinson was sleepwalking, So the only reason why the McVay's teams play like that is because of injuries, like you said, but an amazing record of injuries on the offensive line. Now Matthew Stafford's showing you with the decent line, he's back to being healthy. He's even healthier than he was in the Super Bowl year. And we'll get into this, but that's why I think we have a fighter's chance. And the Seahawks showed you that they were lucky to beat us in the last game. We should have knocked them out of the playoffs and put the Lions in the playoffs. But the referee called it running into the kicker call, and that shattered us. So, but anyway, let's get into it. I'm ready to go, baby. Let's go.
I love it, and keep this going. And I'm glad you mentioned that, right? Because I mean, you're talking to a person that has been a 49er fan since 1987. And I don't even remember dealing with injuries in the 80s or damn near in the 90s. Matter of fact, players used to play with concussions and they used to play with broken fingers. So now me dealing with these injuries, I know we've been injured mainly at the quarterback spot for the umpteenth year. You could say it's Shanahan's fault because of the offensive line. I mean, look, it could be, it could not be. Who knows? At the end of the day,
look what he did to Trey Lance. I mean, the guy tried to run him up the middle, and
I mean, it's a run play, bro. Like it's a power run, and it's not the offensive line that got him hurt. I mean, Trey runs. He gets 3 or 4 yards on the carry, and the big 300-pound defensive lineman from the Seattle Seahawks falls on top of him and puts all his weight on him, which is a rule for quarterbacks that are in the pocket, but not when they become running backs, right? You can't do that. Yeah. So it was a freak injury. Like, it's not like the offensive line. I feel like quarterbacks get injured just as much in the pocket.
Let me ask you, Breezie, are you forget about 3 amazing run, 3 NFC back-to-back NFC Championship game appearances. Forget that for a second, because with this team, that's what you should be doing. Are you a Kyle Shanahan fan? The head coach fan?
Absolutely.
The choices that he made. Now, I ask that because why can't he win the big one? Why can't he? I mean, you had a healthy Trey Lance in the championship game. Why didn't he run any packages?
Well, technically, he wasn't healthy. So to you might have thought he was healthy, and to the
Jimmy
49ers
Garoppolo was out there with screws in his hands, wasn't he? I mean, you guys put him
Trey
out there.
Trey Lance had a broken finger, and that wasn't right, and there was a bunch of stuff that was wrong with Trey Lance. We didn't know then.
Won the Super Bowl with a jacked up back and a tweaked leg, and
Stafford won the Super Bowl because you had a motherfucking defense. Let's keep it a buck. That's why he won the Super Bowl. Matter of fact, if it wasn't for the 49ers offensive line, like Trent Williams being injured in that NFC Championship game, if you want to talk about injuries, we could talk about injuries, bro, because that's what really happened. 49ers went to that game. No, because you just sat there and gave mad excuses of why your team couldn't run it back. And let me tell you the real. Let me give it to you real, right? If you're going to talk about injuries, then let me talk about injuries, because in that game, Trent Williams shouldn't have been playing. Jimmy Garoppolo shouldn't have been playing. There's a bunch of players that shouldn't have been playing because they were injured. But you know what they did? They played and they lost. You won, no doubt. And if it wasn't for that last pressure, that last play by Aaron Donald, who applied pressure up the middle, he closed the game. That's what makes Aaron Donald motherfreaking dominant. Like, he's one of my favorite players in the NFL, but he does nothing against the 49ers during the regular season. Ask me how I know. I'm looking at his stats.
On him. They put 3 and 4 guys on him.
And the rest of you guys don't do shit either. I mean, that's my point. I mean, they don't put 3 or 4 guys on him.
There's 3 guys on him. But let me tell you something. I'll tell you why it's Kyle Shanahan's fault. Mm-hmm. So, what did you guys win the wild card in 2001, or did the Rams win the division? Even you guys beat us the last game. Who won the division?
You did.
Yeah, and so that means you guys had to go the long way.
We did.
That's Kyle Shanahan's fault that you guys had to go through all those extra game.
It's not Kyle. You can't say that that's the coach's fault. You can't. You're giving.
You guys were lucky to beat us in that game before the last one.
Lucky. Your quarterback threw it. Bro, your quarterback lost the damn game, right? Matthew Stafford throws an interception. Diamador Lenore. How would I know? I was right fucking there. I was there. Yeah, I was there. I was there.
Okay, so you were there. So did you see Ramsey with 2 steps on him? Lenore was toasted. Matthew Stafford was aching at that time. He didn't reach it.
Oh my God! Did you just say Matthew Stafford was aching?
He was hurt. He was hurt through the playoffs. My God!
Okay, that's what we're talking about. But so it's okay. It's okay for you lost that game, but it's okay for your team to be hurt. It's okay. So what I'm getting from you, Rudy, is that it's okay for your team to be hurt. Right, and I see them. Stockton says, "Tell him, Rudy. Tell him, Rudy. Seriously, you're going to agree with Rudy on this?" So Rudy's argument is his quarterback was hurt. Jimmy Garoppolo was hurt too, but ain't nobody talking there giving him any passes for being hurt, especially the 49er fans. But you watch Jimmy Garoppolo. He usually torches the Rams. He was dealing with 2 different injuries in that game because he got hurt in the Cowboys game. So, yeah, did we have to go through a battle to get to where we had to get to in the NFC Championship? For sure. Am I complaining about us losing? I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, your team won. I give it to you. But if you're going to sit there and give me injury disclosures for your team, then damn it, there's plenty for the 49ers, bro.
Let's understand something. The Rams win the Super Bowl despite injuries. So here's 2018. The Rams didn't have Cooper Kupp. The Rams had a beat down Todd Gurley. His knee was jacked up, but we lost. We scored 3 points. And we didn't have Cooper Kupp, the Triple Crown winner. In my opinion, the best wide receiver in the NFC, probably the NFL. And he has the hardware and a Super Bowl MVP to show it. He didn't play in 2018. So that's whatever that is. In the Super Bowl, actually in the regular season, we lost Robert Woods. So we had to go and get OBJ. Deshaun Jackson should have been with that team, but he ended up leaving because he couldn't break the starting lineup. So we lost OBJ in the Super Bowl. We had injuries, but we still won because we got Matthew Stafford and because Kyle Shanahan was slow on the trigger to sign Matthew Stafford. They could have still got a young quarterback.
Slow
So
to
that's
sign.
the difference there.
Oh my God! What happened was Kyle Shanahan was on vacation, and Sean
Uh-huh.
McVay snaked him like you would do in a fantasy football draft. That's what happened.
I know that story well. So what happened was they were both in Kabul.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Shanahan was with his wife looking over film.
Mm-hmm.
Big Wit introduced Sean McVay to Matthew Stafford. They were all there. Matthew Stafford, in a drunken call, called Stan Kroenke. I know, I want this guy. I want this guy. So they pulled the trigger and they got Matthew Stafford, and the rest is NFL championship history.
I mean, congratulations on that Super Bowl win. I mean,
that's the real story.
I mean, congratulations. You guys are the most relevant of the champions, right? We haven't won since '94. I mean, we're not crying about it, but that's what it is. And you guys probably won't win ever again. So, like, at the end of the day, like, we're talking about
win again before the Niners do.
I guarantee you, I could promise you won't. But let's talk about this game right now, because that's what it's 2023. Your team still ain't beat us in the past couple of years, right? So you won the Super Bowl. Boom.
That's not the bar, though. That's not the bar. Regular season for us don't matter.
You got it, right? Look, I think your team right now, if I go through what your team did in week 1, which I think is most important to talk about and focus on about what's going on right now. I mean, the Rams are 3rd in offense, total offense, and 3rd in total defense, right? And I think that's something that you can hang your head high on. When you look at the amount of yards that they scored week 1, was 426 yards. And then as far as when it comes to the defense, you've only given up 188 yards. You know what I'm saying? And that was to the Seattle Seahawks, which to me, they're a weird team, right? Like they're just some weeks they're on and some weeks they're off. I watched your game and I watched the all 22 2 to 3 times because I wanted to make sure I was seeing what I was seeing. There was nothing from the Rams that really excited me other than the fact y'all had the wheels churning throughout the whole game and you just capitalized off the Seahawks just being dumb, which is good because I hate the Seahawks more than I hate the Rams, which is weird because the Rams and the 49ers have way more history, right? They go back way longer and the record, the 49ers lead the season record, as far as beating the Rams, but it's a great battle to talk about because they go way, way, way back. But again, your team, 3rd in offense, 3rd in defense as of right now. We only played week 1. 180 yards on defense. I want to talk about that. So let's talk about your defense, man. Tell us some of the things you're happy about when it comes to the Rams defense, because giving up 188 yards, 95 passing, 85 rushing, you kept I would say the Seahawks has a stable of running backs. They're young, but you kept them under 100 yards at 85. And then there was an injury to Tyler Lockett. They do have a new rookie in Jackson Smith and Nigba, but you still kept all the receivers under 100 yards. So that's something that you should be proud of. Tell me something about this defense and what 49er fans may need to worry about.
We're excited. Now, I want to give a shout out to Rams House, all my Ramilia in the chat, my guy Eduardo, my guy Slap. My guy Slap, Alex, everybody in the chat. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. I mean, this is my dude. Don't get me wrong. I love this dude. I told him he don't like this because he's a Celtic fan. God bless him. The 2 of the worst teams you could have when it comes to me.
Wait. Whoa. You're not going to talk about the Celtics on my podcast.
But
we'll
anyway,
save
Mike,
that for basketball season. Yeah. Mike, I'm a Celtics fan too, so I'm not going to let him. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm explaining to you that you're a Celtic fan.
Got you.
You're still my dude.
But
yes, indeed. Stockton, Eduardo, everybody, thank you guys for coming in. Thank you. I see you guys in here. This is my guy. This is my dude. We're going back and forth, but this is my dude. One of the busiest.
This is what I like.
The James Browns of content creators. And,
I like this.
The hardest working man in YouTube and content creators is and a great dude, man. He's a passionate 49er fan. But yeah, let's get it. So the Rams did a retooling remodel, right? We got the pillars and
you had no choice.
Yeah, we had no choice, but we already got the chip. We couldn't even run it back because of the injuries, but whatever. Now we're rubbing that off and now we're redoing it. And so now what we did is we got Kobe Durant, the land shark. He's on his way to maybe being a Pro Bowl. Quentin Lake didn't get a chance last year; he was hurt, but he looks really good. Your guy Witherspoon might play a big role in this game. He wasn't good.
Witherspoon will be a non-mother.
Well, he has been with you
factor.
guys, but he was better with the Steelers.
He won't be a factor here.
He's not our main guy though. He's just a guy. Like you guys only have one guy. Good. I mean, Hufanga, the safety is good. You guys have one good quarterback in Ward. The other ones aren't that good. Let's be honest. Stafford, okay. If you give him time, they're going to pick him apart. Okay. But unfortunately, we don't have Cooper Kupp there. So, Kobe Turner, Byron Young.
I like Kobe Turner.
Bobby Brown, my prerogative the third. Michael Hoyt. We're ready to go, baby. And so Ernest Jones, a Super Bowl champion linebacker, like you guys got Fred Warner, but there's only one linebacking core. Rosenboom's back. They are Super Bowl champions. So we'll see what happens. But we have a lot of outlooks. Now, we're not delusional that we think this is the Super Bowl 2021 team. It's not. But we have a lot of young cats. They weren't there for all these games. They're going to know their role. They're going to play the way to their strengths. Raheem Morris, Super Bowl champion defensive coordinator, still there. We're going to do what we need to do. So we got a lot of guys who have a high motor. They like to hit and hit hard. And McVay's explained to them that this is Niners week. And as long as we have those pillars, the Aaron Donald, the fear of God putter, and Geno Smith guy still on the team. We have Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp's on the sidelines, but Puka Nacua, the phenom, took the headlines away from Ayuk. Tutu Atwell finally turning the corner.
He took the headlines away from Ayuk. Let me shut up, Wayne. Shut up, Wayne.
It's okay. Yeah, because his first game, they're already talking about, where did this guy come from? Puka Nacua.
Of course they're talking about where this guy come from because don't nobody know who he is. How did he take the headlines away from the guy that how did he take the headlines away from the guy that was voted offensive player of the week? Please explain that shit to me.
10 more yards and he had two touchdowns, but
he did not have 10 more yards. He did not.
119 to 129. Yes, he
had 115 yards, bro. 115.
Had 119.
Okay, so I don't know what stats you're looking at, but stats right in front of my face says it says 115 or 119, excuse me, 119 off of 15 targets. He caught 10 receptions, right? Yes. Without the points. He didn't score.
Yeah, well, he's a rookie.
You can't just say because he's a rookie he didn't score. His ass didn't get in the end zone. Now I think he's 2-2.
He was filling in for Cooper Kupp. Now we're gonna have Cooper Kupp and him now. But we'll get back to that. Tutu Atwell showed up. They set a record since 1958.
Wow.
The two 23-year-old wide receivers to have over 100 yards in one game. Where's the Niners? Where's Debo with the 100 and some yards receiving? Where's Ayuk in the same game? Nope, you don't got it. That's us. That's us with Matthew Stafford. You see? So there's things that you don't know about our team that I do. Now I'll be happy to explain it to you, Wayne.
You know what? You're right. There are things I don't know about your team that you do. That's how it should be. You should know your team. But hey, guess what? You don't know my team
too, though.
But not like I know my team. So you're looking at stats and telling me why this guy didn't do this and this guy, because they didn't have to. We didn't have to utilize more than one player. Our quarterback is that smart to where he's going to pick the defense apart. All right, you want to double Debo? No problem. You're going to leave my guy one-on-one? He could beat your man anytime. I double dog dare your 3-4 zone-ass defense to play man-to-man on Brandon Ayuk. Hey, there's not a DB in the league. Good. There's not a defensive back in the league that can cover him. And don't you come at Debo Samuel, bro, because he owns the Rams. Literally owns the Rams. Matter of fact, he punks that big ass Aaron Donald, bro. Real talk. And don't act like you don't know. You're stuck.
Don't disrespect
you get mad at me for being stuck on the pass, but then you can be stuck on that Super Bowl championship win, but you don't want to talk about the losses you just suffered. Like, I get it. Pro season trumps anything. No doubt, for sure. Yeah. But there's also context to that. And you just talked about context. We talked about injuries. We talked about missed opportunities. But at the end of the day, if you look about what's going on lately, the 49ers still dominate the Rams. They lost. They took that L in the postseason. Then they came back in the next season, regular season, and swept that ass. Matter of fact, they beat y'all so bad, y'all wasn't even a factor in the postseason. I mean, come on.
So let's stay on Debo.
Win the division, you get a trip to the postseason, bro. Why don't y'all start with that first? I will give you this. I will give you this. The Rams are number 1 in the NFC West as of right now. I'll give you that.
Say that again.
The Rams are after week 1. The Rams are number 1. I mean, it's only because you played the Seahawks and we played the Steelers,
who are better
which we
than
beat the shit out of.
The Seahawks are better than the Steelers. The offense is, at least. Pickett is sorry. Let's just. You guys are all. They're all happy.
I agree with Pickett. I agree with Pickett. I never thought Pickett was going to do anything against the 49ers. I don't give a care what kind of preseason he had. Pickett is not it. He's just not. He's going to take time. But they still got an offense. They still can run the ball, and they also can. If Pickett can get the ball to his wide receivers, you just talk trash about my defensive backs. You didn't put any respect on their name. You gave respect to two guys. You gave respect to Talanoa Hufanga, who's the All-Pro.
I like it because he's a USC brother.
And you gave respect. I got you. And you gave respect to Mooney Ward, who got an interception in his first game of the 2023 season. But you better respect. You better start respecting who they gonna put out there. And I tell you what, Ambry Thomas plays well against the Rams. Ask me how I know. You know. And also Diamador Lenore plays well against the Rams. Ask me how I know. Oh, wait a minute. You know again. Like, these are guys that play well against your wide receivers. And that was with Cooper Kupp. So all I'm trying to say is him not being available is huge.
Yeah,
because
it's a silver lining though too. At the same time for Puka Nacua and cats like that.
It's not. So now you're telling Puka and Tutu to do well against this secondary against the 49ers, who have the number 1 secondary, who led the NFL in interceptions last year, tied with the Pittsburgh Steelers with 20, who started off and they're at the top again. 49ers are 11th in turnovers again. They're higher than the.
This is why my narrative: regular season stats and regular season empire.
But we can only talk about regular season, bro. We're not in the postseason yet.
Does Brock Purdy play defense?
But we're not in the postseason, and no, he doesn't play defense. No, I'm answering your question.
With all these stats, why did the Eagles run roughshod over? Why couldn't they keep it close? Why couldn't they keep it 17-3 or whatever?
The same reason why when you lost Von Miller on your defense, that shit was suspect. It's this, like, the 49ers defense was on the field 95% of the time. Show me one team other than that Baltimore Ravens team, and even that damn offense was able to at least be on the field. Show me one team.
This is why.
You got to give me a team first before we move on from this.
Okay, show you a team that what?
Show me a team that their defense 95% on the time that can stay on the field can sustain. That's impossible.
Oh yeah,
defense gets gas.
Yes, no, you're right. But what I'm telling you at this point also is I'm leading into all the good teams that you guys played, except for the Dolphins, who Tua crapped the bed. You guys lost to last year. You guys lost to Kansas City. You guys are missing some guys. But that's the way it goes in the regular season.
I like it that you know your stuff, because you know I was coming. You're a smart man.
For you.
I love it. No, I love you, bro. Okay. Real talk.
Because Tua crapped the bed, and you put Stafford on the Dolphins in that game, didn't pick you guys apart. If you guys
Tua didn't crap the bed. Tua got crapped.
There was guys wide open. He didn't hit him. I was looking for a good game, and I felt bad for my guy.
You know why? Because he was getting hit like he's never been hit before. That's why.
But see, you guys.
Same thing with Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett was looking nice. Everybody was like, Kenny Pickett about to be the man, until he got sacked.
When I'm saying that you guys, when I'm saying these things to you, I understand the Niners are really good. I'm just telling you, the way I look at it is, okay, regular season stats don't matter. Oh, whenever we played a team, they lost the next. Who the hell cares about that, dude?
Okay,
show me something in the pro season. Show me something in the postseason. Now
that's valid though, Rudy. Rudy, that's valid.
It is valid, but then it's not. Do you Niner fans in the chat here care that you guys have gone to 3 NFC championship games that don't have a ring? Do they really care?
I think they do care. I think the Niners fans want to win, right?
Would
I think
they
care.
those 8 year those regular season wins against the Rams for that championship win?
I mean, obviously, you would trade in anything to get a win, right? Yeah. But I think my answer though to respond to you though, Rudy, is you got to get to the postseason, and right now we only at week 1. So what do you want to go off of? You want to go off of your Super Bowl championship?
Oh no,
you got a totally different. You got a totally different team, right?
I didn't get a chance to talk about the NFC West like you were talking about. You have to win. It's funny that you're telling me that, because
Okay.
The Niners and Kyle's Niners are the only team between McVay and Kyle's Niners, the Rams and McVay's Rams, that have come in last place a couple times. The Rams have never come in last place. Even last year, they were 5-12. They were in third place. The Rams are the only NFC West team since Kyle Shanahan and McVay have become head coaches. They won 3 NFC championship, NFC West titles.
But why does that matter?
Won 2. So we understand that being in Los Angeles, that you have to win the division and get to the playoffs. We know that more than the Niners do. The McVay's Rams have won more games than the Kyle's Niners have. Plus, they won the chip. They won their 2-0 NFC Championship games. McVay's AP 2017 Coach of the Year.
Whoa. We got to put a pause on that. No, because there's context to that. Because Kyle Shanahan came into a shitstorm of a team, and Sean McVay inherited a freaking team. Like, he literally inherited a great team. You had a running back. You had Aaron Donald. You had a team. We had to start from the freaking trenches, bro. There's context to that. So you can't just sit. There's reasons why Sean McVay reach the top or reach that pinnacle a lot faster than a Kyle Shanahan. If I had all-stars and all-pros on my team, I didn't have to gut the team. So look, what did Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch do their first draft? They traded up. They traded back so they can get more first-round picks so that they can take shots at players that they whiffed on. Like, come on, there's context to that, though.
The context is this. Here's the context. I love how you're going at me because I got all the answers, baby.
I love it.
The context is this. What is the excuse now? You said, oh, well, Kyle, this is the Niners narrative.
There's no, listen.
McVay ran into everybody thought that Goff was a bust. And here comes the quarterback whisperer.
He was a bust. He was a bust with you.
But Sean McVay turned him around. He's better developer and a quarterback than Kyle Shanahan was.
He didn't win
that too.
He didn't win.
He ruined Brock Purdy. I mean, he ruined Trey Lance.
Did he win? Did Goff win in LA?
He won in LA. Yeah, he went to the Super Bowl. He took us to the Super. He helped take us to the Super Bowl.
Did he win in LA? Does he have a ring?
He won in LA. Yeah. Yes, he did. He's 2-0 against Mahomes as well. But the context is that. What is the excuse now? You said that they were rebuilding. Now he's got a loaded team, and he still can't win. So, no, what is the excuse now?
I mean,
how many does it have to be a perfect season for the man to win?
It doesn't have to be a perfect season, bro. But
it looks like
you can you. Let me ask you this: could you win without Matthew Stafford?
Hell no.
Okay, so why are you asking me this question?
Well, because Kyle here's another.
No. Why are you asking me this question? Come on, man. I asked you a question. You said no. So now I'm asking you. Then why do you think we can win without our quarterback?
Well, here's see, you're setting him up for me, and it's too easy. Listen, our teams are different. Why did we get Matthew Stafford? Matthew Stafford?
So you can win.
Yes, thank you. Now. Does Kyle Shanahan is so arrogant that he thinks he can win without a quarterback?
Now we talk about the arrogance of my coach. See, only I can call my coach arrogant. You can't call my coach arrogant because I'm going to get defensive.
Well, I mean, that's okay, though, because I'm telling you truths.
You're not telling me truths. I already know he's arrogant. Like, you ain't got to tell me that Kyle Shanahan is arrogant. We know he's arrogant.
The reason why the two teams are different in different ways, they're different personnel, but also he knows the quarterback's position is important.
Bro. Come
on,
man.
He hasn't made any moves for any great quarterbacks. He hasn't.
You got a gunslinger, Matthew Stafford, that been in the league for 55 years, and he came into a nice situation and Sean McVay. So basically, you didn't have to develop a quarterback. Kyle Shanahan on the other side had to build the defense, build the offense, and try to develop a quarterback. And that's the difference. That's the only difference. The only difference is that could they have gone after Aaron Rodgers? Could they have gone after a Tom Brady where they would have took the easy ride to get them a championship? Sure, they could have. It probably was going to cost them an arm, a couple of legs, a couple of teeth, and all that type of stuff. But they kept continuing to choose to develop the quarterback, mainly and particularly because it would be cheaper, and then they can keep the team around them built and stocked and loaded when they get that quarterback developed. Brock Purdy, on the other hand, is a little bit different than some of these other quarterbacks. You haven't seen Brock Purdy play yet. You've seen him play, but he ain't played against y'all. So That to me is the difference. I think Kyle Shanahan may have been arrogant because his quarterbacks had limitations and he wanted to make sure they stuck to the script. I still feel he's that way, but the difference between Brock Purdy and a Jimmy Garoppolo and a Trey Lance who didn't play much and a Brian Hoyer and all these other terrible ass quarterbacks that we had to deal with is the simple fact that they aren't great going off script. And I think that's the difference. I think Brock Purdy has that, and you're going to see something different. And you watched it. But again, to you, regular season doesn't matter. But hey, the only way you can get to the Pro Bowl, to the playoffs, bro, is you gotta win in the regular season. So to say that wins and losses don't matter, that's kind of weird. Because
what I mean is you don't puff out your chest and be happy and raise banners like you we're gonna sweep the Rams. Yeah, well, you swept us when we won the Super Bowl. Come back at us when you win a Super Bowl in Santa Clara.
We can't talk about
5 Super Bowls.
So we can't talk about winning unless we beat you on the playoffs, is what you're saying. I just want to be clear.
I get a smirk in my face every time we're going to sweep you guys again. I go, okay, yeah, you swept us in the Super Bowl year 2. How'd that happen? That's what I get a kick out of. But also too, let's stay on Shanahan because I love staying on him because I think he's a good offensive coordinator, but a horrible head coach. So Kyle Shanahan, his dad, Papa Shanahan, probably called in a favor to Robert Kraft when Brady was fighting with Jimmy Garoppolo, and they got him for dirt cheap because if you remember, they were 1-10, like you said, they were rebuilding. Jimmy G saved his ass. The 5 meaningless wins in a row, and then he got that big contract in San Francisco. And then he's one of the reasons why the Niners lost the big games, partly because of Jimmy Garoppolo, but also. So he got saved. Kyle's ass got saved there because he came out of nowhere and he got really cheap. This quarterback that was supposed to take over for Brady, but Robert Kraft didn't want to do it. There's number one. Then number two, they traded all this draft pack capital for Trey Lance, right? Mm-hmm. And you know how that ended, right? All these guys they could have had already. They could have, if he would have been fast on the trigger, they could have got Pitts, the tight end, kept their picks, had Matthew Stafford starting, draft up one of the young quarterbacks playing behind him, and you guys would be a scary team. I would have sleepless nights. Now, that's another thing. Now, so that fizzled out. So here comes the miracle of Brock Purdy. Imagine if Brock Purdy, now God bless him, he's played well, right? Really good in this system. Imagine a 7th round pick. If I would say, Brady, Breezie, check this out. So Trey Lance ain't going to do nothing. You guys are going to pick a 7th round quarterback and he's going to be starting for you guys. What would you say? So a miracle happens. And also, too, the Niners got their Kurt Warner miracle season with Brock Purdy, and they couldn't finish it because Kyle Shanahan never fixed, and John Lynch never fixed that right side of the O-line. And here we go into another season with the same problem. They got McKivitz there instead of Brunskill, the Aaron Donald ragdoll in the championship game. So that's why I'm saying I understand exactly what you're saying, but I also have my takes on it. Kyle Shanahan going into last year, the 6th year, was at 500, under 500 as head coach in the regular season. So let's just remember that too. Anyone else would have fired him. Who cares if he gets another job? If you can't win the ring, I don't want you here. If I was the Niners ownership, I would have fired Kyle Shanahan after Brock Purdy got hurt because of what happened, and I would have hired Sean Payton and then get you guys over the hump. That's what I would have did. I would have put a Tony Dungy on him with that. But anyway, that's my opinion.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that Kyle Shanahan doesn't have flaws or things like that because he clearly does. But
no coach is perfect, though.
No coach is perfect, but there's also, I'm not going to blame Kyle Shanahan because Brock Purdy didn't get rid of the ball. Like, I'm not. That's not Shanahan's fault. I mean, the coach draws up the play. If everybody executes the play the way it's drawn up, 9 times out of 10, it's going to work right. It didn't in our favor with Brock Purdy. He did end up getting injured in the NFC Championship game, something y'all ain't seen in the past couple of years. And, we lost. So there's nothing to cry. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk, but it's a new season, bro.
Yeah.
It's a new season. Both of our teams are 1-0.
I like to restore order, as I like to say. Yes, regular seasons games count, but I'm giving you track for track what's gone on with the. I know exact. I speak about it all the time. There goes Jed York about to be arrested, like Eddie DeBarlo Jr. for insider trading, and there goes another guy that's, I got all kinds of stuff on the Niners. The owner that won the 5 Super Bowls, the guy was suspended for a year from the NFL for racketeering allegedly. Donald Trump had a part in his ass. So y'all got a lot of stuff, man. That's why I say they give me a lot of material over the years, man.
We're just relevant, and the Rams aren't, yo. That's
why I'm that different dude. Well, the Rams are relevant. The Rams not only are the most valued franchise,
they're not relevant.
The most valued franchise between the two teams, the Niners and the Rams. The Rams are more franchise. Look it up, Forge franchise value. The Rams have a better stadium. The Rams are building a state-of-the-art training facility in Woodland Hills.
I mean,
the Rams are the big brother now. Things have changed. So
what happens when you get beat by the little brother then? Nothing? It doesn't matter because it's not a playoff game?
Lakers lose to the Clippers?
I don't know. I don't care about the Lakers or the Clippers.
Well, I'm just telling you, that happens. Sometimes the Dodgers lose to the Padres. Sometimes the Celtics lose.
I see what you're saying. It don't
matter. It's regular season. We want to win enough games to get to the postseason. We hate that we lose to you guys. And I'm having fun with you. But we have to understand this is not what you remember, Breezy. This ain't Eddie DeBarlo Jr. is not owning this team anymore. You got little York. The only reason why he has that job is because his daddy owns a team. Then nobody really takes him seriously.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with us beating that ass? I don't get it.
Oh, that's not going to happen Sunday. Aaron Donald's going to introduce himself to
Let's
Brock
talk
Purdy
about Sunday. Let's get to Sunday, bro. Let's get to Sunday. Let's talk about some matchups. We got some matchups, right? Let's go through some matchups. Let's get your defense versus our offense, right? So let's go through some matchups. Who's covering? Now, you guys played zone. You guys play a lot of zone. You guys don't necessarily man up. You lost Jalen Ramsey. That's pretty much your man zone type of guy. So you guys aren't as strong in the man up defense, which the Niners like to take advantage of. But I will say this, you play zone. The Niners find ways to poke holes into your zone. So who's defending Deebo Samuel in this game?
Well, we just got to keep him in front of us. Deebo Samuel is amazing when it comes to the screen passes. The guy can't run a route to save his life. He's amazing running around the outside. He's fit this time, but CMC took his job. He was so good that CMC had to come in and take his job, because he used to run the ball. They'd rather give the ball to CMC than Deebo. That's how good he is. But also, too, in the championship game, the man 159 yards in 3 championship games, Deebo Samuel, because we never got back to Deebo, the man who got knocked out by Nick Scott. But anyway, he's very formidable. He catches the ball and takes off. He gets geared up for the Rams, him and Donald, when Donald said, who? Yes, he can't really, he's really good at that. So he catches balls underneath and he's very formidable with that. CMC is the key for you guys, because you guys are going to give CMC the ball and he's going to break through and try to get, those big yards.
So how do you stop CMC? Because I'm looking at these linebackers on your team, and I'm just not seeing that. I mean, Ernest Jones will probably be like the guy.
It's not about stopping them. It's about hindering them enough where we get the ball back on third down. On third down is key. If we can get
so they line CMC up. Who's covering CMC? Don't tell me Ernest Jones. Don't tell me Christian.
What's wrong with Ernest Jones?
Nothing. Even Fred Warner can't cover CMC. So tell me who's covering CMC.
Well, it just has to be play by play on third down. So it might be Ernest Jones. It might be Rosenblum. We'll see what happens. But it's not about that though, because these same players won the Super Bowl against you guys, and Fred Warner and all those guys lost. So it just depends. These
weren't the same starters. You had different players out there. Come on, man, miss me with that stuff, bro. These were rotational pieces at that time, and you have no choice but to put them in the game, because you ain't got money to pay anybody else, because you got your money tied up in Matthew Stafford and Aaron Donald. Now, I will tell you on your defense who I do like, because I interviewed him at the Senior Bowl. I'm a huge fan of Byron Young. Huge Huge
Yes.
fan of Byron Young. I'm not sure how much of a factor he will be in this particular game, but he does give you that speed off the edge. There is a possibility that he may be able to wreck shop with speed, just off the edge. Look,
Yeah.
you got a young defense. I'm not saying that it's not good, but it's going
Yes,
to
you
be a
did.
tough. No, I did not.
I saw you you said that we weren't any good in your last video. That's why I'm coming at you hard now, because I wasn't there to say it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Fuck, I'll stand by it, because how you going? You
Yes, you did.
dealt with Seattle
okay.
and Geno Smith's trash ass. Now you got to deal with the most efficient quarterback in the league. You do know what the word efficient means, right? And so now you got to deal with the person that gets the ball out of his hands quicker. I don't think your pass rush, as far as other than Aaron Donald, and like I said, I like Byron Young, I don't think your pass rush is as great, but Seattle sucked. Right? Seattle was terrible. They had zero pass rush on their defense. Their offense couldn't really get going because your team just dominated. But at the end of the day, now you're playing against a star-studded offense, opposed to what you saw in Seattle. Now you got to deal with weapons all across the board and just about every facet on the offense. That's a tougher situation to handle, right?
Yeah. Did the Niners go undefeated last year?
No, they did not.
Did they lose to the Broncos?
They did lose to the Broncos.
So then we can beat them. Did the Rams beat the Broncos 50 to something?
Are you saying they lost to the Broncos because it was in week 3 and it was Jimmy Garoppolo's first game starting? No, they lost to the Broncos.
Never faced Aaron Donald before.
No. We lost to the Broncos in week 3 because Jimmy Garoppolo came in week 2 when Trey Lance got hurt against the Seahawks. So I'm talking about last year. Yeah. So week 3 was when Jimmy Garoppolo, dumbass, stepped out of bounds and threw a pick 8. Like that. That is what happened. He's no longer here either. We're talking about Brock Purdy now. So we can't even focus on that. Brock Purdy is a different type of quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. He's more mobile. The only issue to me with Brock Purdy is he stands in the pocket way too long, which I feel like he gets sacked. But dude,
I wonder how many seven-step drops he's going to have on Sunday.
There's going to be 0 7-step drops. He had 0 on last Sunday, and I don't expect him to have any on this Sunday. You're dealing with Aaron Donald. You have one of the best defensive players in the league. I'm not going to sit here and say you don't. Like, I'm not that type of guy to say, well, y'all trash, because you have Aaron Donald. And I did this exercise earlier, Rudy, with John Chapman a while back. Aaron Donald, I'm sorry, just makes your overall defense that much better.
I like John Chapman. I comment on one of his videos. He shows, every little thing. Brunskill, let's understand something. That's like saying I can guard Michael Jordan, one guy. Let Aaron Donald be head up with one guy. There's times where you might catch Aaron Donald from play to play, but the last time the Niners played the Rams, they put 3 guys on him. He's got an army on him because we didn't have nobody else. Now we got young guys here. It's going to be a similar situation. They're going to have to move them around. But there's nothing better for us to go into Seattle with these young cats, beat them, shut them up, because they were talking all kinds of smack, right? Even Michael Hoyt slammed a DK, and then he ends up hitting Witherspoon. We go to Seattle with the house that Mark Bolger built. Now we're going to beat the Niners. We're going to play the Niners. Now, I think I said before the season started, before Cup went out, that we're going to go 2-0. That's what I said. Now, I haven't seen nothing to change my mind. The Niners looked good against the Steelers, but the Steelers were horrible. It's early, too.
The Steelers' defense is better than your defense, bro.
Oh, well, right now, at the end of the year, we'll see. They don't have Donald, so they really don't.
We talking right now.
But they're not. But that's what you say. We'll see Sunday. Bro,
the Steelers' defense.
Purdy gets hurt.
Bro, the Steelers' defense. All right. The Steelers' defense on paper was ranked higher than the Rams' defense on paper.
Oh yeah, those rankings were garbage. Those rankings
they weren't garbage. They're going off of the trajectory on how they finished the end of the last season. They don't even know the guys that we got, but that's okay. They don't even know who Puka Nacua is on offense, but that's okay. So nothing better for us to go into Seattle, get the win, play the Niners, see what they like to do with these young cats. The Niners don't really have a lot of film on these young guys, and then let's keep Matthew Stafford. But the Niners secondary is young. That's my point. They're not a bunch of old dudes trying to cover guys anymore. Mooney Ward, lowest yards per catch rating in week 1, 5.6 yards. Like, he is fly on whatever. He's glue. Good luck. And like I said, like I'm gonna keep it honest.
Who can guard Tutu on your team? Who can guard Tutu?
Anybody.
Maybe Deshaun Jackson.
It's not about
anybody.
Speed. But yeah, hear me out, because it's not the speed's not going to matter. The Niners don't get beat deep. They don't give up those explosive plays. The way you used to beat the Niners was underneath stuff with Cooper Kupp, remember? And Cooper Kupp, Puka's not Cooper Kupp. Come on, man. He's not Cooper Kupp. Neither is Tutu Atwell. They're not Cooper Kupp.
He's Bobby Trees 2.0.
Nah, man. Cooper Kupp is a different type of football player, and you know it. So don't even compare them just because you had two wide receivers that had 119 yards. Don't compare those two. Cooper Kupp was that dynamic on offense where you had to game plan for them. I'm not saying we're going to take your offense lightly. Matthew Stafford can still sling the ball if you give him time to throw it. But he's not going to have time, bro. Like, we have a pass rush.
Steve Avila got his back. Steve Avila got his back.
If you think,
this is what I would do.
If you think Nick Bosa isn't going to take advantage of that rookie,
this is what I would do. I would run towards Nick Bosa because he's not in game shape yet, holding out, fleecing the Niners.
He wasn't in game shape week 1.
I would run right here at him, beat him up. Somebody know that Fred Warner's coming across and slam him so we can break into the open, because Fred Warner's coming. So you not only run towards Bosa and you get physical with his ass, then when Fred Warner comes across, you slam him legally the whole game. And so that's because I don't see nobody do that. You see Fred Warner go unmolested, at least get in his way, hit him. That's what I would do. I'd go right at Bosa, because you guys don't. Let's be honest. You guys don't have another pass rusher opposite Bosa. You guys don't. You guys got Hargrove in the middle. But that you guys have never found an opposite pass rusher. Drake Jackson was supposed to be that guy. He's not. Ebukom's gone. I mean, the Niners.
Drake Jackson had 3 sacks last week, bro.
We don't have a lot of depth on the D line.
Drake Jackson is tied for first in sacks. What are you talking about?
I like Drake Jackson. He's a USC brother, but he hasn't showed up. We'll see.
I just told you, Rudy. He showed up. Week 1.
I'm going off for last year.
No, we gotta go off of week 1.
For last year. Though I'm going after last year.
Who cares about last year? It don't matter. You told me at the beginning of the show that none of that matters. So let's go for week 1. I gave you where you guys were ranked week 1. You're 3rd. Niners are 4th in offense. They're 6th in defense. All right? That's the rankings.
How many sacks did the Niners offensive line give up?
They gave up 3 sacks.
Okay, who's coming? Who's going to be coming at that defense?
One person gave up 3 sacks. One person gave up 3 sacks. I want to make that clear. It was on the right side.
Yes, indeed, baby. Yes, indeed.
So you're saying that?
That's why Kurt Williams don't matter.
Wait. Who on the opposite side?
Both sides.
Hold on, bro.
Yes.
Because I want to know from you. Yes. Who's matching up? Who are you putting on Colton McKivitz? He's the guy that gave up the sacks. So now you're saying that. Go ahead. I want to know that answer. That's the matchup. Who's matching up against Colton McKivitz?
It's going to be at times Kobe Turner, Aaron Donald.
So times, Kobe Turner's not beating Colton McKivitz.
Third, on my prerogative.
Yeah, I like that. We'll
see what happens, man. But listen, these 2 games are I pick us to win. It's early. What better time to beat the Niners than early with these young cats? This is us getting our feet wet with these young cats. By the time, and our offensive line looks really good. And now listen, it's 1 game. Like I'm having fun with you, but it's 1 game. But at times, Breezie, in the Seahawks, they're not no slouch. They have decent players on defense.
Oh, come on,
They have an okay. Wait a minute. They have an okay pass rush. And you remember our offensive line last year. At times, they protected Stafford like the.
How can you say to me a team, Rudy, has an okay pass rush if they didn't sack your quarterback 1 time?
Well, that's how good our offensive line was last
bro.
That
means that means their pass rush isn't okay. That means their pass rush might not have been as good as they thought it was. I'm not trying to take a shot at your offensive line, but now you're going to be dealing with a different type of pass rush. So like even when we played the Steelers, right? We had to deal with Cameron Hayward for a little bit. He ended up getting injured. He has a groin injury. He's going to be out. I think he has to have surgery. He's going to be out for up to the next 8 weeks. And then TJ Watt literally just said, you know what, bump it. I'm going to push a button. I'm going to tee off. right? Which he did. I don't see anybody from the Rams teeing off from the edge. And inside, that would be my main concern. So if you're going to line up Aaron Donald on the outside to try to take advantage of Kivitz, okay. But you don't want to keep Aaron Donald on the outside. You want to get him to where he's strong. His strength is on the inside, which would be Spencer Burford, who's yet to give up a sack this year after one game. So to me, like I get the game plan is to take advantage of that right side, but it's not just because we gave up 3 sacks to TJ Watt, not the Steelers, literally TJ Watt. You don't have a TJ Watt rushing from the 3-4 on the outside. You have the interior presence, 1,000%. Best interior pass rusher, defensive tackle.
Byron Young can't get home?
No, Byron Young not getting home.
Why not? Why not? Who do you got to stop him on that side?
Who's not? Listen, Byron Young's not getting as much as I like Byron Young.
Is there a Pro Bowl there that I don't know about?
How many sacks does Byron Young have so far on this year?
Let's see.
0.
I think got half a sack. Didn't he, against the Seahawks?
You could be right. Let's look at it.
I think got half a sack.
Let's see. Byron Young, did they give him a half a sack? They gave him a half a sack, which I didn't even know PFF gave half a sack. Yeah, they do give half sacks. He got a half a sack. But he's not going to be able to do that against this offensive line. He has the speed. That's about it.
Let's stop right there. Who's on our right side that's really good?
It's not about them being good. It's just if we got beat by Cole McKivitz got beat by one of the best outside linebacker, probably the best outside linebacker in the NFL. He leads he has the most sacks at outside linebacker. He leads the league in sacks at the outside linebacker. He broke somebody's record on Sunday getting that sack. Like, that's TJ Watt. I just don't expect Colton McKivitz to have give up that same type of pressure. I'm not saying your young guys aren't going to come out and be full of energy and try to ball out, but you're playing against a juggernaut, bro. And yeah, you definitely need to take advantage of our right side. But listen, your pass rush isn't that dominant. There's not enough games for them to be that dominant. You got a half a sack, bro. Your team had 2 sacks. 4 half sacks equals 2 sacks. And 2 of them came from the interior. Cause what is it? Aaron Donald and Michael, whoever his name is, on the inside shared a sack. Now, if you blitz, that's a different story. Now that's something different.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. I'm just wondering, you're very confident in that right side, and I like that. We'll see what happens on Sunday.
You know what? It's not that I'm extra confident in it. It's just that I felt like I've watched him go against the best. So if that was his worst game going against the best, I'm assuming or I'm hoping that he doesn't play as terrible against someone that's not to the TJ Watt status. And I hope people out there, especially the Rams fans, they understand where I'm coming from. I'm not taking shots at your guy. If you're a Ram, you absolutely attack the right side. That's the weakness. That would be dumb if you didn't. But don't be mad if you don't get home, is what I'm trying to say, after he just went to war with the best. Yeah. Usually you learn from that. You kind of get stronger, sort of.
Well, what is
any other matchups you want to talk about?
My man said, Wayne, if the Rams lose to the rookies, what are you going to say then?
That we lost to the Rams. and we lost. I mean, the same thing you said. It's the same story you talking. If you get beat, you get beat. If we lose, we lose.
I'm looking at the chat, and like there's my guy, Ultimate Niner Report, and a lot of guys. Now listen, guys, you cannot like what I say. Me and Brady are going back and forth, but everything that I've said when it comes to the Niners and Rams, I've been mostly right. Now, the Rams are trying to go to the Super Bowl for the 3rd time in 10 years. They're in year 7 now. We expect next year. That's why I say I'm glad. I think we can beat the Niners. I don't think they're as good as you think they are. I think they're very good. They have a lot of good players, as we do. We don't have Cooper Kupp. I'd be way more with Puka Kupp. Can't even get his name out. With Puka Nacua. in there instead of Cup, but if we had them both now, but this is going to pay dividends down the road. And that's where it's at. Because I picked us to go 8-9, 9-8. The Seahawks are going to regress. I think they're still good though, because they have a lot of talent and they have a great coach. And we're going to get the wild card. And then with this crew on offense, especially, and the defense getting better by then, most likely we might make a free agency pickup for an edge rusher. We're going to be dangerous. I'm not afraid of the Eagles. I'm not afraid of you guys with Brock Purdy. That's fine. Let it go. Because we got Matthew Stafford.
You shouldn't be afraid.
Better than Brock Purdy. I'm not. That's a game manager. We got Matthew Stafford and we got a Cooper Kupp, and now Puka Nacua comes up. Tyler Higbee. I like our offense better than you guys. You guys have CMC though. That's the X factor. But I like us. The Rams have. Let's not make no mistake. The Rams have the best QB wide receiver duo in Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp in the
Cooper
NFC.
Kupp's not playing, bro.
Yeah, but he's going to be playing. He's not going to be out the whole season.
Guess what? He's not playing on Sunday.
Yes, but I'm not talking about this game. I'm just talking overall. I'm just talking about overall. So let's understand something. The Rams are proven goods, a proven commodity. We've won the Super Bowl with this front office and this head coach and these players. We have young ones now, but you can't have the same team every year, just like the Niners don't have the same team they had last year. Jimmy Ward's not there. Al Shirer's not there. So we'll see what happens. The D line is not as deep as it was before. Next year with this Bosa contract, you guys move some. You guys gave extended contracts to old guys. Trent Williams, who's already tipping plays with his footwork. Who, if he goes out, you guys are done. Also, too, you guys extended Kittle, who gets hurt at the drop of a cap. I mean, he's a great player, but he's Jimmy Garoppolo on the tight end side.
They didn't extend them. They restructured
we expect you guys in the next couple of years to be going down, and we're going to be rising back up because next year we got 11 picks, including McVay's first-round pick. The money's going to be off of the cap, the dead money, and Les Snead, the Rams GM, has already said that he's going to be aggressive next year. So, you guys better win. You better win because the Rams will be back to their third Super Bowl in the next couple years. That'll be 3-time Super Bowl appearances in 10 years. And that's what they're shooting for. Imagine, how would you feel, Wayne? Remember I said this. The Super Bowl is going to be at Levi. Imagine the Rams win it there too. The Super Bowl is going to be at Levi in 2026. That's what, you know what? Sean McVay and Les Snead are mean because they already see that they beat you guys in the championship game at SoFi. Now they're trying to get that Super Bowl at Levi. Imagine if we won that. Imagine me on my channel. Woo! As my guy Ric Flair would say, woo! Rolex wearing, Super Bowl Ram wearing. Let's go, baby. Let's go. So the Niners can have this game if they win it. Let's see if they can finish it this time.
You don't sound too confident about winning on Sunday, bro.
Well, we're using this as a barometer of where the kids are, but I still picked us to win because Matthew Stafford is healthy. The guy's amazing, Breezy. You know, even if he wasn't my quarterback, I always liked Matthew Stafford, and he's a gunslinger. He'll throw it in there when he shouldn't sometimes, but if the game is close, you know, we'll see what happens. But I don't mind you being like this because if I was in your shoes going to 3 straight NFC Championship games, I'd feel the same way. What else could you be? But let me give you this. So who on the Rams team do you think could be a problem on offense for you guys?
Yeah, and I'm glad that you're asking that question because you talked about your rookies and Tutu Atwell, which the Niners pretty much, you know, I feel like he won't be a factor. And then I feel like when it comes to Nacua, that could be a slippery guy that can probably find some holes in the zones and things like that. But it's all about, can he make the big play and get away from this tough, fast defense? And that's the one thing you haven't talked about, like how fast our defense is compared to the Seattle Seahawks defense. The 49ers defense is like fast. They're like lightning fast. And that's the difference. They fast and they hit hard. Yeah. And I just feel like offensively, I'm not worried about your running backs. I like what your. I'm not. Your guy scored at the goal line. I mean, if you were running back, you can't get in at the goal line, then maybe you shouldn't be a running back.
Baby step.
Hey, but you got but listen, you asked me a question, and I'm telling you why I'm not worried.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, Breeze.
No. I'm just saying this is why I'm not worried, and it's because I'm not worried about them busting off a 30+ yard run or whatever, or sustainable runs at 15, 10, even 5. That's not my thing. My issue is the Niners just got to figure out a way to make sure that they keep Matthew Stafford in that pocket and throwing errant throws, because what Matthew Stafford is going to do, he's going to start the game off trying to emulate what he would do with the Cooper Kupp. And it's quick throws, it's crossing routes, it's those types of things. He doesn't have Cooper Kupp. So I'm still expecting Matthew Stafford to get the ball down the field. If the Niners limit those type of explosive plays, they're going to have to run the ball. I'm not worried about the Niners and their run defense. I know a lot of people feel like the run defense is a little suspect or different. Well, it ain't. They gave up 41 rushing yards to a pair of running backs last week, and I don't care how many rushing yards y'all rushed for last week. It ain't happening against this 49ers defense. It's just the front is too solid, right? It's too solid for that. So you take away the run game, you force Matthew Stafford to have to throw the ball 40 times. You can't win a game throwing the ball 40 times. It's not going to happen. Not against this defense. So offensively, who am I worried about? Honestly, it is Matthew Stafford. You got to find a way to make sure you keep the pressure on him. He wasn't even pressured last week. You know it's going to be different. And you talked about Nick Bosa not being in game shape. Well, I tell you what, he's been practicing all week, and I guarantee you he won't be on no damn snap count this week. And he has plenty of sacks against Matthew Stafford. I guarantee you he'll be playing this game full swing. So Matthew Stafford is the guy you want to worry about. He's the solid veteran on that team. Do you have weapons? Yeah. Will they be effective against a better defense? Probably not. Yeah. They're too young.
Well, we'll see what happens on Sunday. I like us to win this game. I think this
is my favorite person right here. I just wanted to point that out. Boy, you better start watching football, man. Because if you feel like our defense isn't fast, I don't know what the hell what type of football have you been watching for the past several years? That's what they predicate their defense on. That's why they play in a wide nine. That's why they play with leaving gaps in space open, because the linebackers are fast. Come on, man. You know that.
You guys have a point about Kenny Pickett. The Niners being hyped up about Kenny Pickett is I mean, that's laughable, that part there. I mean, that's just, you guys won. That's good enough. But the one thing about this is this young offensive line, the pieces that we have Warren McClendon, Georgia Bulldog backing up. The Rams are going to be able to protect Stafford. Now, this is a barometer test for offensive line. If we're able to give him protection, which I see that we can. Now, you can't stop on Nick Bosa, but you just want to hinder him. You run at him. You get physical with them. You make them tired. You slam Fred Warner in the backside. Don't let him come across and cherry pick tackles from behind. You get physical. You mix it up. You get rid of the ball, and then you mix it up and run a 4 or 5 yard step and get the ball to 2-2 Atwell, because there's nobody on that team that can run with them. And so we'll see what happens. Hufanga likes to bite. I love Hufanga, but he likes to try and cherry pick sometimes. You can get him with the pump fake. So as long as Stafford can go through his progressions, it will be a long day. We'll see what happens. But also too, we have a four-headed running backs. You know, I don't know if you know, you probably do, because you do college. You're very great at what you do with the draft picks and stuff and who's upcoming. You already mentioned Byron Young. You know, we got Kobe Turner, who's pretty decent too. He's going to people call him baby Aaron Donald, the way his body type is. We'll see with Aaron Donald in there. See, that's what people are missing. With this young crew, you got Cooper Kupp bringing the guys along under his wing. Aaron Donald on the line bringing these guys, Bobby Brown III under his wing, Kobe Turner. That's going to help out. Ernest Jones learning from Bobby Wagner last year in the middle linebacker. You know, he's got the green dot now. It's going to Travarius Tomlinson. You probably know about him. He's going to be a draft steal. Quentin Lake's back there. In a couple of years, you know, may we be seeing the Rams Legion of Boom in the secondary. You know, we'll see what happens. Because that's what
didn't he get ejected from the game or preseason game? Tomlinson.
Oh, Trey, yeah, he got ejected. I don't remember getting ejected.
Something happened, and
but
he
I like the kid.
Yeah, he was dogged out of TCU. Yeah, for sure.
But with all these weapons, though, because I'm going to tell you one thing, Breezy, and this don't matter. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, real quick. Remember when you were hearing reports about the Raiders out physicaling the Niners in the
Oh, yeah.
workouts and the OTAs and then the game. You were very mad, right? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. But we were hearing that these young cats, Durant and Travarius Thomason, were getting all up in the receivers' ass, including Devontae Adams in the workouts. So I like it that you guys have all these weapons. Let them, you guys beat us, okay, but we lick our wounds and we come back for the next one and we get better, because now these young guys, we got the guys like the Steve Avila from TCU, playing the big games.
One of my favorite. He was one of my favorite prospects, bro. I'm not even going to stunt. I did like him.
I'm going to tell you, we got about 5 picks, gems that may turn out, and that's going to be helping us in the remodel, rebuild, and then we have our first number 1 pick. So I'm just telling you, I think that we have a chance to win because we're getting you early, right?
Listen,
no disrespect. We'll see.
Hey, listen,
we'll see.
Listen, any given Sunday, any team can win on Sunday, man.
Any
team can win.
Get the wild card. I picked us to get the wild card about 8, 9, 9 and 8.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens, man. But also, too, what's your opinion on this is what I want to get to. Zach Evans, the running back, because he's back there, too, in the weeds. He's got some game-breaking ability.
I'm not worried about any of your running backs.
Well, I'm not talking about this game. I'm talking about in general, the player.
Oh, I think if he gets his opportunity, he definitely has some speed. He's nice, but he has to get the opportunity.
He's on the roster too. So guys that people don't know, the PFF, they still got to do it on the field.
I see what you're saying. Like, no, your team has to build through the draft. I mean, that's what normal teams do. You paid everybody, and now you're dealing with the repercussions of what happens when you do that to win a Super Bowl. So now you have to kind of get back into, drafting some players for the future. And you know what I'm saying? But you guys got some pieces. You got some pieces.
Yeah, we got pieces.
They're going to be non-factors, though, on Sunday. And that's my point.
What we're trying to do is with these young pillars, these Super Bowl pillars, Donald, Cup when he's there, Stafford, Ernest Jones. We got a couple of guys in the secondary there. We're Super Bowl champions, Fuller. We're going to bring these guys along, and as we get like the Seahawks last year, we started getting better, and then we're dangerous in the NFC. And then the next year we take the next step, and then we get free agency with all the money back with the cap. So that's why I say you guys got to win this year, Breezy, because we're going to be really good next year with the free agency stuff and all that money.
Well,
I can't wait.
It'll start on Sunday when we win in Levi South. Let me get your score prediction.
Yes,
because I got another show I got to do. Yeah.
All right. I got the Rams. I got the Rams winning 27-20.
I hate those type of games. I don't even want the Niners to win 27-20. I need a win, secured win.
And one of our kickers is going to have a bad day.
Really?
Yes. I don't.
It won't be our kicker. It won't be. Listen, man. You know what? You're right.
He might be in the mood. Is Moody playing?
Is Moody playing? Of course he's playing.
Yeah. He might not be in the mood to kick any field goals on Sunday. We'll see what happens.
All right. We'll see. I like the little punchline. Listen, Rudy, I appreciate you, man. I'm going to get to these Super Chat contributions, then I got to dump up out of here. I got a fantasy show to do at 8 p.m. Your man, Stocking, he's been talking pretty trash. All right. So let me just let this brother know right here. I don't like be calling a clown. So please don't call me a clown. Please, I'm begging you.
Yeah, respect my guy, Stockton.
Don't call me a clown.
Wayne's my guy.
You can call me delusional. You can call me, just don't call me a clown, please. I'm asking you. But anyway, I had saved this because he was calling me delusional at the beginning of the show, and I don't get it. How am I being delusional if I feel my team is dominant and better than your team? Why is that delusional? Did I call you delusional? You feel the same way about your team, right?
Well, Rombo Sports says the same thing to me, and I tell him, Rombo, let's understand something.
I just don't like the clown
started my channel. I'm the only one that's been able to say the Rams are Super Bowl champions. You have not. So if that's delusional, I think you want to be delusional. That's what I tell Rombo.
That's not fair. I feel like that. I don't mind being called delusional. I just want to know, I'm not calling you delusional if you feel your team is going to win and dominate on Sunday. I might call you crazy, but delusional. Come on. And look. At the end of the day, like,
oh, he's talking about, you said the Rams aren't going to win again. That's why he's saying that.
I don't think they will. How can they haven't? They won.
Well, that's what I say about you guys, and I've been 29 years right.
So, but no, we haven't beaten you in the playoffs, but you haven't beaten us in the regular season in the past 8 games.
I'll lose 20 more and win the championship.
But my point is, we're both right?
I say this:
are we both right, Rudy?
To win the Super Bowl.
Rudy, are we both right?
Yes. About what?
Okay, so then this conversation is null and void. You haven't beaten us in the regular season in umpteen years, and we haven't beaten you in the playoffs when y'all made it. That's so you're right. I'm right, but I'm right because we're talking about a regular season game on Sunday.
Yes.
Right.
One thing.
So how am I delusional? What's retarded, bro?
He just doesn't agree with you. That's all. But
no.
I want to say,
you can disagree, but tell me what is what don't you understand about you not beating us in the regular season?
Oh,
I understand that we didn't beat you in the playoffs, and if we ever see each other in the playoffs again, you can come at me with that argument all you want until we do it.
One thing too with our young guys, you said about the fast Niner defense. With these young cats, we're fast too. We're very physical. They're young. They'll make mistakes, but they're very fast. And so the Seahawks weren't ready for it. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. It's going to be very interesting. And I see these things about the chat that the Niners going to be wearing home red jerseys. And we call those the red SoFi Escalator Crew, Bang Bang Escalator Crew jerseys that they lost in the championship game. That's what when you wear those jerseys, just so you know, that's what we're thinking when we see it. We picture you guys going down the escalator in defeat in the NFC Championship game. So whenever you wear those jerseys, everybody in the chat understand when you see me smirk, that's what I'm thinking. And remember this, all these regular season games, we will forget those. But you guys, for the rest of your life, and you're going to remember me now, telling you, you're going to always remember that NFC Championship game at SoFi Stadium.
The only thing we remember is Jaquaski Tart dropping a fucking.
That's your Bill Buckner play. That's the cherry on the top. That's the Niners.
These people don't know about baseball. They don't get that.
I love it. That even makes it even sweeter.
Yeah, but that's the only thing we talk about when we talk about that game. It's not what you did. It's what we did.
People forget about the Swiss cheese Niner offensive line. The last 5-10 minutes of that championship game. I mean, the Rams went in there at will. Poor Jimmy Garoppolo was running for his life.
Yeah,
that's why that interception wouldn't have mattered. We could be here 2 hours, and I can explain you everything. Me and you can go back and forth, Breezy. But anyway, I'm gonna let you go, my brother.
No, it's good.
I'm having too much fun, man. We should have just set this up for 2 hours.
Well, listen. Well, it's hard because I got so many things going on. But I tell you what,
you're amazing, man.
We'll do it again. You're definitely the Rams guest for every time we play. So, like, we'll do it again because we play twice a year, and hopefully we'll see you 3 times a year where we sweep that ass 3 times.
And damn you, Wayne Breezy, for getting CMC, man. We tried to get his ass. Imagine our rebuild.
You got Matthew Stafford, bro.
No, so, but we tried to get him. We didn't have that 4th round pick, and then
you got Matthew Stafford. So enjoy Matthew old ass Stafford while we run over the Rams on Sunday.
Super Bowl champion Stafford.
Oh, here we go. All right. Which he is. I'm not disagreeing with that. He definitely is. Listen, love you, bro. Thank you for joining the show, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Ramilators.
All right.
Mount up.
Ooh, I like that. It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. All right. Listen, I do see some of the things in the chat that I don't understand the reference, but I'm gonna get to these super chats. But guys, you gotta keep the racial undertones, all that type of stuff. Just be mindful what you say. Like, just be careful. All right. Clown to me is undertone of that. So that's why I don't like the word clown. All right. And don't describe it either, because now you really make me feel like you're being racist. So beware of that. Stockton slap 209. Like, I'm talking to you. Real talk. We got some super chat contributions, man. Shout out to everybody. I'm going to give everybody the foghorn one time. I'm just going to read through these. I got another show. I know Peachy's waiting. We got to talk fantasy football. What a week in fantasy. It was just terrible for me. It's called Levi South for a reason. All right. The Niners have the Rams number. Rams receivers didn't take anything away from Ayuk. Go Niners. And then you doubled up with another contribution that says Seattle is a whack-ass team this year. Rams fans need to chill, beat a legit good team, and then start puffing up. That's what I'm saying. Like, you beat a good team because he trashed us for beating all those teams last year. Even though he said last year it didn't matter, but I don't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. My man Nick's in the building. What's up, Breezie? It's my brother. Happy birthday, bro. My prediction for this game is pain. Laugh out loud. Go Niners. We're definitely getting another win at our home away from home, Levi South. All right. My man Mark is here. Everyone has unknown young players. You're right. Everyone does have unknown young players. The 49ers have some. The Rams have some, but how much are you going to? I don't think the 49ers are going to look to depend on those young players. They're pretty stocked where they are. I know you was getting at Rudy because he was talking about his young guys and things like that. But listen, we'll see what happens. I just don't expect the inexperience to outplay the experience. And there should be nothing wrong with me in that take. That's usually what happens. In my opinion. My man Cast has a couple of contributions. Cast J99. He calls Rombo greasy lips Rombo. Oh, okay. See? Like, you can't say those things, man. It's not cool. It's not cool. Rombo, that's my guy. 49ers not fast, but they forget Warner versus CD Lamb. The Niners are fast and they're furious. And if you ask me, Dallas is a copycat off the 49ers. They decided to say, we need to get fast. But they don't hit as hard. So the Niners are looking to take your life when they hit you on every single play. From the front to the end to the back. Like, that's what they're doing. So it's going to be a great game. My man Fernando Cabrera says, Rams are young. Doesn't mean they aren't good. Everyone counted Seattle to win. Niners like other stadiums because Levi is a hot mess. LOL. The Rams are young. I never said that they weren't good, but now they're playing against a good team. I never really thought Seattle was a good team because I thought the real Geno Smith at some point would stand up, if that makes any sense, Fernando. And we saw it on Sunday because your Rams dominated them, right? They had a couple of good drives. They couldn't really capitalize off of it. And as good as he was last year, as efficient as he was last year, as accurate as he was last year, you saw toward the end of last season, the real Geno Smith coming back into play. So that's why I'm not really sold on the Seattle Seahawks, bro. And you guys did y'all due diligence in whipping that tail. So thank you. But good luck, because now you got to play. Now you got to play a good team on all three phases. Even though our special teams is ranked 30th, that's part of the return game and whatever or whatnot. Now you got to play a good team on all three phases. Listen, I appreciate everybody for joining this special episode. I'm hoping I can do this every week with the content creator because this was fun. I didn't even have to have anything planned. I asked one question and Rudy went off. And that's what I like. I like it. So, guys, if you know any content creators of these other teams that the 49ers have to play throughout the regular season, hit them up. We'll do a special episode on Wednesday of that week. I love you guys. Listen, please come back. Here we go again. Come back. All right. 8 p.m. if you're into fantasy football. I got Crystal, PGB, and myself. We're going to be talking about fantasy football. We got to talk about how week 1 went and who was hot and who was not and who we going to be getting rid of and who we got to add to the roster. So love you guys, man. Stay up, y'all. Stay faithful. Thanks for joining the Wayne Breezy Show. Peace out.
I be sipping gold bar, whiskey on the rocks, and a 24 karat gold on a watch. My 7-1 Chevy be tipping non-stop, sounding like Trent Williams on the block. So you know we can't stop, we be banging through your speakers. Wayne Breezy on the field or in the bleachers. You can tune into my show and I'm a teacher. Wayne Breezy, the 4-9 preacher.